Behind the Las Vegas massacre, act alone. Investigators are looking into the possibility that Stephen Paddock might have had some help.
Agents interviewed his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, in L.A. today, but her lawyer claims she had no clue.
And the Clark County Sheriff believes that Paddock may have had an escape plan, but when something went wrong, he then decided to kill himself. KCAL9 reporters covering that story tonight from the Vegas Strip to Southern California. But let's begin with KCAL9's Randy Paige in Las Vegas tonight. Randy?
1 week before the most deadly shooting that has ever happened in this country, there was another music festival happening in this dirt lot. We're about a block from Fremont Street. Here, if you can just imagine, 50,000 people dancing in a festival. And up there, in one of the rooms above me, Stephen Paddock rented a room. The same Stephen Paddock who rented a week at the Mandalay Bay 1 week later.
Each day of the Life is Beautiful Festival in September, 50,000 people attended. Today, Sheriff Joe Lombardo confirmed Stephen Paddock rented a condo in the Ogden Hotel, which overlooked the festival. And the sheriff added, investigators don't know why.
We have recovered video from there to review Mr. Paddock's actions while he was there.
This is the view Stephen Paddock saw from the room he rented a week later at the Mandalay Bay. This time, 22,000 people were in his sights when he sent more than a dozen volleys of bullets into the helpless crowd. Evidence recovered from a car he left at the Mandalay Bay suggests he may have had even more violence on his mind. Investigators recovered 50 pounds of the explosive tannerite, which can be detonated by firing a bullet into it. Watch what happens on this YouTube video to a 1979 Ford Bronco.
We're going to blow it up with 30 pounds of tannerite in this 5-gallon jug.
Paddock had 20 more pounds of tannerite than this inside his car. Today, Sheriff Lombardo says no accomplices have been identified, but he believes Paddock did not act alone.
And you look at the weapon obtaining, the different amounts of tannerite available. Do you think this was all accomplished on his own? You got to make the assumption he had to have some help at some point.
And listen carefully to this question and answer.
Did you see any evidence that he planned to survive this or try to escape?
Yes.
Can you tell us what's that?
I can't tell you.
Think about that. It could be that Stephen Paddock planned to escape. That's a new twist to a terrible crime that we learn more about every single day, but there is still a question that has not been answered, and that is why. We're still waiting for that answer, and we do get a real sense from the news conference today. They're starting to develop some information about it, but they're just not yet ready to reveal it. Let's go back to you.
And Randy, in a press conference earlier today, the sheriff talked a little bit about a change in the timeline. Explain what all that was about.
Las Vegas PD has been getting some concerns raised about how long it took for them to actually breach through the door and to make sure that this gunman was down. They made it really clear that after 10 minutes, Stephen Paddock stopped firing, and because he was no longer shooting, it really became more of a barricade situation. And at that point, because there were no more volleys going out of the windows, they wanted to make sure that all the people on that 32nd floor were safely evacuated. So that took some time.
Sure.
And then they also wanted to make sure they had the SWAT team in place and they could make a breach into that door and do it in a way that other people weren't injured. So it wasn't like it took them a long time to get up there. They were there very shortly after the shots were fired. They wanted to make sure they did it safely, and that's why it took them so long.
All right, Randy Paige live in Las Vegas. Randy, thank you.